Good evening and welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this edition of The Back Room. We are so pleased to have you here this evening to hear from four amazing and wonderful authors. I'm your host for tonight, Hank Phillip Ryan, the USA Today bestselling author of 13 going on 14 novels of suspense. My newest book is Her Perfect Life, which is casually displayed behind me. My new book is called The House Guest, which is coming out in February, and you will be hearing way too much about that in the days and weeks and months to come. So forgive me for that. I know I'm talking, and it is almost over. It's almost time for your authors to talk, but let me introduce them to you now. Our first author tonight is David Ellis. David, hey, David.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. David Ellis is the Edgar Award-winning author of 10 thrillers, including the Edgar-winning Line of Vision and The Hidden Man, an LA Times Book Prize finalist. He has also co-written 9 books with bestseller James Patterson. That's not David Ellis in the graphic. That's just to see if you all were listening. David Ellis has written 9 books with bestseller James Patterson. I do have to say that the latest James Patterson, David Ellis book is today on the New York Times bestseller list, which, yay, is about as good as it gets. But he has returned to domestic suspense with his current book, Look Closer, a twisty new novel of suspense, betrayal, revenge, and justice. And speaking of the New York Times book review, I'm looking at it right here. If you have today's Times book review, or even if you don't, you can find it. David's book got one of the best reviews I've ever seen in my life in today's Times book review. David, what are the best 2 words in that review?
My 2 favorite were wildly entertaining.
Wildly entertaining. And voila, there you have it. So congratulations on that.
And by the way, I'm happy to carry Jim Patterson. You know, he's a struggling author. He needs someone like me to, put him on my back and, write him to success.
Good of
you. Yeah, and I know he's so grateful. He is just so super grateful.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Anyway, let me not leave this out. David is a justice on the Illinois Appellate Court in Chicago. So busy. Paula Munier. Hey, Paula.
Hi.
Is the senior agent and director of storytelling and content at Talcott Notch Literary Agency, and is the USA Today bestselling author of the Mercy Carr series. A Borrowing of Bones, the first in the series, was nominated for the Mary Higgins Clark Award and named the Dogwise Book of the Year. Her newest book, The Wedding Plot, hold that up, Paula.
Okay.
Yay. Debuts in July of 2022, which is now. So what's your pub day?
July 19th, coming right up.
Coming right up. Paula has also written 3 popular books on writing, including the fabulous Plot Perfect. She lives in New England with her family, 3 rescue dogs, or is it 4 now or 3?
Oh, it's only 3. My husband draws the line at 3.
3 rescue dogs, and Ursula the cat, who we are told is a rescue who does not think much of the dog. So never a dull moment at Paula's house. Janie S. says, I just discovered David's book, Look Closer, is 5 stars. When this is over, not right now, you all, but when this is over, go look at these books. You will love them all. Alex Segura, welcome, Alex, is the best-selling and award-winning author of Secret Identity. Hold that up so people can see. Don't just take that away.
It's a beautiful cover.
It is indeed. which the New York Times called wittily original, 2 also good words, and named an editor's choice. NPR described the novel as masterful, and it received starred reviews from Publishers Weekly, Kirkus, and Booklist. Alex is also the author of the Pete Fernandez Miami Mystery Series and a number of comic books, including The Mysterious Microface in partnership with NPR, The Black Ghost, The Archies, The Dusk, The Awakened, and more. And he lives in New York. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
And Simon Toyne, the intrepid Simon Toyne, comes to us from France today. He is a Brit, but tonight he is with us from Toulouse, near Toulouse, France, where it is 1:14 in the morning.
Wow.
And this is the definition of trooper. Simon Toyne is the British author and television presenter, and is the internationally best-selling author of the Sanctus trilogy, the Solomon Creed series, and most recently, Dark Objects. And there it is. Oh, that's gorgeous. That is gorgeous. He also presents the true crime and book-related TV show, Written in Blood. His books have been translated into 29 languages. So what a lineup we have tonight. It is quite astonishing. So there you have our lineup for tonight, and we welcome all of you. We start, as always, with our 20 questions. So the first question here is for Alex Segura, because I will ask you in the order I see you on the screen.
All right, no pressure.
And yeah, no pressure. Do you have any hidden talents?
I play guitar fairly proficiently, and I used to be in bands when I was in my 20s and childless and unmarried.
What kind of guitar and what kind of bands?
Like indie rock music, kind of like Velvet Underground meets Talking Heads, but not nearly as good as either.
And what's your favorite thing to play?
I'm a good rhythm guitarist, which just means I can keep the beat. You know, I can strum fairly well. I'm not a great solo artist.
That's great. Do you still play? Do you still perform?
Yeah, I just don't have. No, I don't perform. I don't have. You know, I turned one hobby, writing, into a career, so I had to put one aside.
That's great. Well, that's wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
David,
Yes.
are you a good cook?
No, I'm an absolutely terrible cook. My wife is a great cook. My daughters are learning to cook. My son is too young. He's only 10, but I think he's going to follow in their footsteps. I'm a microwave guy. I can make mac and cheese and pasta, and that's it. Sorry.
Which is not a bad menu. That is not a bad menu.
It's not bad. I could probably cook some chicken too, but I am no. I even get nervous when I have to cook out on the grill. Like I have a charcoal grill because I like that taste, but as opposed to a gas grill where you can really know exactly how long to cook. So I have to eyeball things, and I'm always sticking my fork in the meat. And my wife is always saying, "You're ruining the meat," but I'm like, "But I don't know if it's done yet."
Yeah,
you got to deal with
Dad's gonna cook now. Oh no, cross your fingers. Simon, your question is, what is the most impetuous thing you've ever done, or at least one of them?
Probably the most impetuous thing I ever did was marry my wife pretty much 3 months after I'd met her.
So we're waiting for the story.
Well, so I was in my previous career, I was a TV director, and she was a presenter. She was an interior designer, and there was, I don't know what it was like in the States, but in the UK, about 20 years ago, pretty much every other show was an interior design makeover show, like all of them. Every show, you couldn't move, and it was sport and interior design makeover shows. So I was making an interior design makeover show, and she was the on-screen talent for a particular channel in the UK. So we got a commission. I had a little production company, and we got a commission, and it was like, here's the presenter. And I was a bit grumpy because normally as the director, you get to pick the talent. And so I went for a meeting beforehand to meet this woman who was been forced on me to present this show. And we went for one drink, and me and my producer and her agent, which became a bottle of champagne, which became 2 bottles of champagne, which became all night. And she tells the story as that when I left, because I had to leave, she turned to her friend who turned up in the evening and said, someone should marry that man. And her friend said, yes, you should. And I went away feeling the same. Aww. And 3 months later, we were married.
That is great. Meant to be.
And that was 20 years ago. Still together. She's asleep upstairs, which is why I'm in the kitchen, because it's furthest away from the bedrooms.
Well, she's a trooper too. Thank you. That's a wonderful romantic story. Paula, would you rather be inside or outside?
Well, I love being outside, even in the winter. And in New England, the winters are cold. So I'm one of those, writers. I think like a lot of writers, I'm an extroverted introvert, right? I have to stay inside, and I love to stay inside and read, what? But I just as soon take a walk in the woods and listen to an audiobook with the dogs, So I'm half and half, I think. But and in New England, you have to be. If you don't like being inside, you're going to freeze. and if you don't like being outside, what's the point of living here? So.
True. And you are very much attuned to nature and to gardening and to the environment.
I love all of that. I mean, I have a garden, and a pandemic garden like everybody else. I grew vegetables, and I'm growing all kinds of stuff. I spent every morning in the garden, and I think that's where I plot the best.
Oh. Let's talk about the books that you all are recommending. And Alex, we'll start with you.
My recommendation is Kelly Garrett's Like a Sister, which is a fantastic, voicey psychological thriller. It's about a woman who discovers her reality star sister is found dead, overdosed from cocaine, and she realizes there's much more to the story than what's in the papers. And Kelly's just got a fantastic voice. Her prose style is amazing. Her dialogue is whip smart. It's funny, but it's not a comedy. I think it's really one of my favorite books, and it came out a week before Secret Identity, so we were kind of like running parallel with our books coming out at the same time.
David, what are you recommending?
So my Kindle is on the fritz, so I just printed it out. This is The Chaos Kind by Barry Eisler. Barry likes to write. Barry used to work in the CIA. He likes to write about assassins and spies and government conspiracies. This book is right in that vein. What I love about Barry is, number one, he's not afraid to give a point of view. He's very opinionated, and he's not afraid. And he will, in this world, make some people mad, but he doesn't care. He's very brave that way. And I really love that kind of recklessness in a writer. And he writes, look, if you want action scenes, nobody is better. He's like a martial arts expert. I look at him, he looks like a martial arts expert. But it's a really, really smart thriller. Constant movement, constant entertainment, but also, very intelligent.
Great. The Chaos Kind by Barry Eisler. Simon, what are you recommending?
Hang on, I just need to call it up because I'm in France, as you said, and I forgot to pack it.
Oh, that's all right. It's on the screen. It's on the screen, Simon. So
I did it. There you go. So it's My Wife is Missing by DJ Palmer. Who is the nom de plume of Daniel Palmer. You may know, so Daniel Palmer and I'll tell you about the book. Sorry, My Wife is Missing. So basically it starts off with a guy comes back and he's been away. He comes back and finds his wife and 2 children are missing. And the only thing that's left are his clothes. He's in a hotel room, and the beloved bear, this kind of toy of one of his children. And so it's a great kickoff. But what's brilliant about it, and what's brilliant about all Daniel's books, I think, is he starts up with a very simple position, a very simple place, something that's very familiar to everybody. Something happens that, again, is something that sort of taps into a fear. And then he just moves the story along in such a way that you're constantly going, well, I would do this, and they do that, or they do something slightly different. And he's so good at kind of confounding your expectations, and he does it in this book as well.
Paula, what are you recommending?
Well, it's not going to show now, but I'm recommending The Maid by Anita Prose. Such a fabulous book, great voice. It's kind of like Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine meets Columbo. Yeah. So it's about this maid at a luxury hotel in London, and she's on the spectrum. And her grandmother has died, and her grandmother was the one who raised her, and they love to watch Columbo together. So of course she's mourning her grandmother. She's the cleanest cleaner at the hotel, and she comes into a room she's supposed to clean, and there's a dead body. So she has to solve the crime like Columbo. It's just wonderful. I can't even tell you how wonderful it is. I read it in one sitting. The voice is fabulous, and I can't wait to see her next book. And I would highly recommend it to all of you.
Wasn't that fun? We hope you enjoyed that taste of what a backroom session is like. But more fun comes immediately afterward. That's when the audience is broken up into 4 breakout rooms, and each author in turn visits each room. We'd love to show you what a breakout session is like, because those relaxed face-to-face conversations between best-selling authors and readers are the hallmark of backroom events. But breakout sessions are never recorded, because what's said in the back room stays in the back room.